it, but before we do, if you'll be so kind enough as to confirm that you can both hear my voice as well as see my screen, which should say VooPlayer Q&A on it, and then we can get started. Thank you. That he has audio but no video, or sorry, you can see but not hear. He has video but no audio. I muted myself for a second after the introduction. Can you hear me now? Now I can hear. All right, so I'll take that as confirmation enough that we can get started. Happy New Year to everybody. This is the first webinar that we're holding in 2019 since the last one was scheduled for January 1st, and we skipped that one due to the New Year's holiday. So Happy New Year once again, and welcome to the VooPlayer Q&A webinar, where we aim to answer any questions that you as users may have about using VooPlayer, also to provide any training on any advanced features or discuss advanced video use cases for your business, also to gather feedback on how we can improve VooPlayer or any sort of constructive criticism, ideas for new features, etc., as well as to showcase new stuff that we've been working on. The format of the webinar is pretty straightforward. Most of you are familiar with it, but at any time that you have a question, or if you came prepared with any questions, just drop them in the chat box at any time, and then we can answer them in the order that they come in. If you are not able to attend any of these webinars, but are afraid of missing out on any new VooPlayer updates, you are more than welcome to subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/VooPlayer, where all of the replays are posted, as well as on our Facebook group, Facebook groups VooPlayer. If you haven't joined the group or subscribed to that YouTube channel, I encourage you to do so. Alrighty. What else did I want to get at with regards to housekeeping notes? So yeah, if you'd like to see a question answered during the webinar but not able to make it, as always, we're available via our support channels, either at support@VooPlayer.com or via live chat widgets on our homepage and inside of our application, etc. So all right, so great. So let's get started. So with regards to 2019, we've updated the product roadmap on sort of what we want to accomplish in the first half of 2019. We didn't go as far as mapping out the entire 2019. We did that for 2018, and it turned out to be a pretty flexible and volatile year, so we didn't necessarily get to everything that we want to do. So we're kind of taking it in smaller chunks this time with regards to what we want to map out. So as I mentioned, as you know, you have this ideas board available from the application, as well as in the VooPlayer.com/ideas, etc., many different ways in which this is available. But so the basic plan is, as usual, to continue working on the performance. That's an ongoing effort, as you all know, with regards to the faster loading of the player, as well as sort of faster streaming. So that's we're kind of separating those two as the effort for improving the bandwidth infrastructure is really relying heavily on investments made into more or less moving our entire hosting and CDN providers over to higher tiered quality providers, resulting in more or less faster streaming of videos which are hosted on VooPlayer. So that's one of the things that we certainly want to accomplish early in 2019. Interactive hotspots over the video is something that's been getting a lot of traction with regards to interactivity across video engagement with the viewers. So as this nifty little thumbnail shows, this is not what it's going to look like. I just grabbed something off of Google Images, but this is really aimed at highlighting specific areas of your video or specific points of interest, which would be pulsing or glowing or whatever, and you could position them anywhere you want precisely on the video by drag and dropping them around and assigning timeline events to them and resulting trigger actions. So those hotspots could have actions to show additional content, trigger timeline events, jump to some specific point in the video, open up pages, etc., etc., etc. So this is really an enhancement to our overlays and annotations feature, but with a much more interactive approach with regards to both the positioning as well as the actions, the styles of actions that those triggers are that those actions are triggering. Sorry. So that's also another thing. Video access code management, as a lot of you have requested in one form or another, is really focusing on providing an entirely new module inside of the VooPlayer application, which would allow you to both manually as well as dynamically, as well as via the API, generate access codes which could be assigned expirations dates, to which you could assign access to multiple videos, to which you could assign prices maybe, etc., etc. So this really is aimed at providing some sort of a, not necessarily an access management platform, but an easy way to sort of manage, restrict, and later on manipulate access to your videos to specific users, so you can track specific codes and how much they've been used, where they've been used from. So if you find a particular code to be suspicious, you could suspend it, etc., etc., etc. So this is really an improvement to both the combination of our pay lock as well as our password gate. So those two sort of in combination with better management of rights, as well as the ability to assign multiple not only videos but also funnels, playlists, etc. To those access codes, is something that we're aiming to provide much more value in that realm of access management. Screen recording and direct import to VooPlayer. So this is really a win-win from our perspective. We have, I can't even describe how much trouble with videos that are created via screen recording software such as Camtasia or Screencasts, or what's that one called, Jinga or Zoom or what have you. So a lot of those screen recording softwares are really specific in the ways that they encode videos, as well as improvement to your workflow, meaning that you don't necessarily need to record something in Camtasia, then save it, then export it, then or record it in Loom, then download it, etc., etc., etc. So we really want to provide a all-in-one end-to half of an end solution, where you can just click on something in your browser as a browser extension, which would trigger recording of your screen, microphone, camera, etc., allowing you to quickly start talking to your viewers, and then upon completion of that recording, that would automatically be uploaded to VooPlayer, and you can just grab the embed code or the share link and just continue with that. So looking to eliminate a significant step in the process with that, as well as to ease our handling of those difficult video formats. So that's also something that's upcoming. Also providing a visual build out of funnels. So funnels are something that we've seen as carrying a lot of potential, and we still feel that it does. It's just that the interface for creating them is not as intuitive and user-friendly as it could be, or necessarily flexible as it could be. So this is really aimed at more or less a complete rework of funnels as they are currently, with the ability to quickly, just by drawing on a canvas and connect boxes to each other create very interactive flows within your videos and in between your videos, rather, as well as a redesign of the entire interface for both the back-end facing configuration as well as the front-facing style of questions and answers, as well as also, so I'm just kind of expanding on this, as well as the ability to connect integrations to funnels so that you can tag people or assign actions to contacts in your CRMs based on those funnels answers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm really kind of dwelling more on the entire effort of funnels, but this is primarily focused around that visual rework. But with that, we'll also sort of rework a lot of the functionality behind that. So that's another thing. And also, as I mentioned, I don't have it on the board yet. That's still something that we're discussing on how it's going to work. But I mentioned integrations with CRMs. We are looking to make both existing and new integrations much more easier to use with regards to achieving something simple like, hey, I just want to tag somebody in my active campaign account who's watched 50% of the video. We are looking to make that, and actually that one of the reasons why this is not necessarily on the board at this point is because this is something that's already a work in progress. So that's something that's really upcoming, and that's not planned. It's already being worked on. So expect to see a lot of improvements to how the integrations are handled themselves as well. So that's kind of the plan in the nutshell for the first part of the year. Let's see if we can get to some questions right now. Clark Cotton is asking, how do pre and post roll work with YouTube videos? They play at the same time, and click for sound is automatic even when you don't use the autoplay feature. Click for sound is automatic even when you don't use the autoplay feature. So one interesting thing about YouTube videos, pending on what kind of a YouTube video is that, as I think anybody who's used VooPlayer before by now realizes, VooPlayer imports YouTube videos in one of two different ways. One is if we can access the source of that video directly, which is based on the configuration of those settings in your YouTube video manager or Creative Studio or Creator Studio, however they're calling it now, based on the copyright licenses, age restriction licenses, download licenses, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If we're able to access the source of that video, we're treating it as any other video. However, if we are unable to access the source of the video, which, for example, if you said, hey, this has copyrighted content in it, we're just definitely not going to be able to get to access the source of that video. Then basically what we're doing is embedding a YouTube player within VooPlayer. If that's not confusing enough, that is to say that all of the interactions of the user with the video are gone, meaning that you're not directly interacting with that YouTube player, which is embedded within VooPlayer, but rather we're just interacting on your behalf, which means that there is no user interaction for a lot of events, such as clicking on video. That's something that we're doing dynamically. So in the end, if you have a YouTube video which is playing through a YouTube player, and an easy way to determine if it is one of those videos is that you're probably going to have those related videos. You're going to have the logo of the channel at the top and the title of the video, related videos, et cetera, et cetera. So all of those are indicators that you have the YouTube player embedded within the VooPlayer. And if that's the case, then a lot of browser vendor policies regarding autoplay videos, for example, in pre-roll's case, pre-roll is always autoplayed. So regardless of if it's a YouTube video or an uploaded video for a pre-roll video is always autoplayed. So let me just see if I can not pre-roll, for pre-roll, if we had something on that. I think we made an announcement about that on the OneDrive hosted videos, playing one video at a time. I'll try and look it up, but when you click on the play button of VooPlayer, you're not interacting with the pre-rolled video. So that might seem sort of counterintuitive, but if you have a pre-roll and a post-roll and a main video, you basically have 3 video players, each of which are playing an individual file. So if a browser vendor such as Chrome says for a video to have sound and you click on it, for a video to have sound when it's played, you need some sort of a user interaction. So, for example, somebody clicking on it. So if somebody clicks on the main video, which is by default the player that's loaded, then we detect, hey, there's a pre-roll video, so we load that on top of the main player. Then there's no interaction with that pre-roll video. So pre-roll videos are always going to have that muted symbol because they are always played. The only way to sort of circumvent that would be to actually require a user to have an additional click for a pre-roll video, which is something that we believe is not necessarily an ideal experience. So that's something that we're looking to avoid. With regards to them playing at the same time as the main video, if that's the case, again, just hit us up at support@woolplayer.com with the specific video that we can look at and replicate that issue. I don't necessarily know at the top of my mind what could be going on with that. Dean is saying 2 thumbs up for Hotspots ETA for this. As I mentioned, no real ETAs, but definitely in the first half of 2019 is when we are looking to sort of complete this first batch of things which I've listed out. Stephen is saying very useful feature for the access codes. Can have a timer. Yes, definitely can have a timer. As I said, you can set expirations on access codes. For example, you can generate an access code and say, hey, I want it to expire 1st of February, and then it's going to be only available for that long. Clark Cotton is saying, also adding ActiveCampaign to a video is not working. Please go over steps to connect to email or CRM. Screencastify will not be needed. Does this allow for a learning management system feature? A bit confused on the Screencastify and LMS feature with regards to what I got you now. So this was in reference to when I was talking about the screen recording directly from the browser. Yes, so you will not need any additional equipment or software to record your screen or your webcam for WooPlayer videos. So with your WooPlayer account, you can directly record your screen if you just install an additional browser extension to your, for example, Chrome. Also, adding ActiveCampaign to a video is not working. Please go over steps to connect to an email or CRM. So sure, again, more of a troubleshooting issue, which should be raised at support@woolplayer.com, but I'll swift through it quickly. So if you've already connected a integration, which you do by coming over here to your settings and coming over here to your integrations and APIs, first thing for ActiveCampaign is that you will find it over here on the list, provide the URL and the API key for it, and create the integration. That will save the integration over here, and that means that now it is available. So when you want to use it in a video, so let's, for example, say that I want to use it in, I don't know, this Q&A, the previous Q&A recording. What I will need to do is come over here to the video gates, create an email capture gate, and then on that, I will need to say, connect this to an autoresponder. So with this selected, I will need to find then ActiveCampaign on this list. And with that integration selected, then I can add it and then create the opt-in, which will then complete the integration. And if I'm not mistaken, ActiveCampaign, I think all those steps are neatly laid out in the documentation for the ActiveCampaign with sort of regards to where you get all of that information, how you input it. So I'll just take the liberty of pasting that in the chat box. Alrighty. Shade is saying yes to, I assume, screen recording as well. Clark Garden is saying, great, funnels are so needed, but have been hit or miss. Can you A/B test each funnel too? Ooh, that's an interesting question. Can you A/B test funnels? That's a mind-blowing question as far as how that would actually work. Let me let me actually make a note out of that, because I have no idea how I would answer that. It sure is possible, but it just requires a big shift in the mentality of thinking about it. Data capture into ActiveCampaign from VideoGate. Yeah, yeah. An analog to the Interactor app, a visual UI for linking CTA questions to sequences of videos. That will be very useful too. Absolutely, Stephen. Let me make a note of that as well. YouTube videos by URL, like add X Pharma. Okay, got the policies kick in, so pre-roll and post-roll should be used with videos you create. Got it. Yeah, ideally with the videos that you can upload. So when you're creating a pre and post-roll video, there's an option to either enter a link or to upload a video. It would ideally be the best to upload a new video. Same time as at Xfarm. Yes, but the leads are not going into ActiveCampaign or need to test one. Yeah, as mentioned, ping us at support@woolplayer.com, and then we can take it from here. From there, it could be anything from, for example, poorly entered credentials or invalid credentials in ActiveCampaign. It could be restrictions on a list inside of not support.woolplayer.com. Send us an email at support@woolplayer.com, or if you'd like, you can just come over here, and if you're inside of the application, click on this little nifty button over here, start a new conversation, and say, I have a problem with my ActiveCampaign integration, etc., or you can come over here to documentation and support and click on contact support and create a detailed ticket for the issue that you like to see. So you can say, I think something is broken, your role player name, your email address, you have all of that, your role player username, what's your video player name. That way we're going to have directly know what you're talking about, where can this be replicated, what's the issue, steps to reproduce the bug, etc., etc. So that's what greatly helps us sort of figure out the issues. Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 Eastern or 24/7. You can contact us at any time, and we'll just respond at our earliest possible convenience. P.S. And not to sound rude, but the workload kind of is what's driving that. But if you'd like, you can also refer to our support hours, which for the Eastern Standard are, we don't even have Eastern Standard. Yeah, we do. Why do we have Pacific Daytime, Mountain Daytime? Well, we don't have Eastern. So it will be from 3 to, no, sorry, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Or, no, I don't know if I'm getting that right. No, definitely not. From 2 a.m. to, I don't know, I'm lost. 3 a.m., 7 p.m. Yeah, that's right. All right, there we go. When do I need to be available? You really don't need to be available. Just send us an email saying, I have an issue with this video and this integration, and we'll just respond to that email once we figure out what might be going on with it. Dean is saying, I like the new layout of WooPlayer dashboard when I log in. Yeah, so thanks for reminding me about that. So as some of you might have noticed, is we eliminated the toolbar, which was up on the top above everything over here, in order to maximize the space of the active stuff that you need to interact with, as well as to provide some more simplicity around that layout to enable you to focus more on stuff that you need to. So basically everything that was up in the main toolbar up on the top right, we moved to the bottom of this main menu, so it's we believe more functional that way, and that kind of provided us with some more space to then realign some of the interfaces so that all of the toolbars are now aligned with where that main toolbar was previously. So we think this is working much better, and we hope that you are finding that it is as well. Alrighty. Let's see. Do we have any other questions? Last chance. I do have a hard stop at 6:30. Need to run to another meeting. Let's see. If not, I want to thank you all for taking the time to join this week, asking a lot of great questions. Clark, looking forward to resolving your active campaign issue. Just send us an email at support@voolplayer.com, and I'm sure that we can figure it out. It's usually something really simple, like a missing connection or a missing list setting. So I'm sure that we'll be able to figure it out. All righty. Thanks again, everybody. Hopefully we'll see you next week, and have a great remainder of this week.